Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review, and I was looking for something to babble about this weekend and kick back and listen to, and quite honestly there was not a whole heck of a lot of stuff coming out. I actually saw this one announced like quite a while ago. I thought it was supposed to come out about 2 weeks ago. It must have got pushed back. I lose track of some of this stuff because it's very hard to keep track of all these releases, but I'm talking about Skid Row. And I believe this album came out in 2006 originally, Revolutions Per Minute. It is their new reissue of this with a new remaster. It was the first album that was released with their new singer after they parted ways with Sebastian Bach. And also, they parted ways with their drummer, Rob, who's the only member of the band I ever got to meet. I got to meet him out in, was it Rochester at some music conference that was going on out there way back, early 90s. Unfortunately, I never got to see Skid Row live. I got to catch Sebastian when he was doing his, what was it, the Jesus Christ Superstar performance. And he actually blew me away in that, quite surprisingly, because I'd seen a lot of Skid Row stuff live. I got the videos, and he had issues with being on pitch live, but when he did that performance there, he was like perfect, and he sounded great. So I was really impressed with that. And as you know, all bands back in those days, and that's every single one, but all bands in that genre, they're all looking for their Sebastian Bach. They all wanted a singer like that. The band I was in was no different. He was like the guy. So like when Skid Row parted ways with Sebastian, back then it was huge news. And so when this album came out, the first one with the new singer, obviously everybody rushed out to get it, at least everybody I knew. And I'll be 100%, I actually knew of Johnny Solinger. I had one of these guys that collected everything even way back then. He had a band called Solinger. I had one of their albums, so I kind of knew what he sounded like. I was kind of shocked when they announced it because he looked a lot like Sebastian, the long blonde hair, same stature and all that type of stuff. Not quite as tall, but Sebastian's like gigantically tall, but doesn't really sound like Sebastian at all. The funny thing is, after they parted ways with Johnny, I know Johnny's passed away, but I can't remember how that all happened there. I think they parted ways before that, but ever since then, they've really just been trying to find somebody that can sing the earlier stuff, and they've gone through a lot of singers. What are they on, seven now, I think? Actually, I don't even know who's singing for them right now. I don't know if anybody is. But anyway, they actually had somebody before Sebastian too. I know people tend to forget that. But anyway, back to this one. So I was kind of surprised when they announced Johnny as the singer. So I went out and got the album, and I remember listening to it being very disappointed. Not only in the songs and the sound of Johnny singing with them, the songs weren't the same, and the production, I did not find the production very good at all. I found it very muddy and quite amateurishly sounding recorded. The drums, they have a new drummer on this one called Dave Gara as well, and just the sound of everything, there's a very mid frequency, made everything really muddy. I remember listening to it, and I never went back and listened to this album ever again. They did a couple things after that too, which really, in my opinion, weren't a whole lot better. So when I saw this was coming out, I'm like, all right, I haven't listened to this thing in almost 20 years. I get it, give it another listen. So I went in, was trying to be open-minded, fresh ears, and quite honestly, the remaster is better sounding. It does have a little bit more crispiness to it. It has a little bit more punch. I can hear things a little bit more clearly in it. However, it didn't really make the songs better. They went for a more punk-sounding thing on this one, is the feel I get. And they started doing like more of the heavier sound, like on Subhuman Race. That's like my least favorite of the Sebastian era. I know a lot of people love that album. For me, it was the first two. They, even when they did that covers album, you could tell they were leaning a little bit more towards that punky sounding, heavier stuff on that. but they really went for the heavy sound. I think when they were on tour with Pantera, that really influenced them a lot, especially Sebastian, and they went for a lot heavier sound. They went from a band that was really influenced by Kiss, as you may know, to a band that was really influenced by Pantera in particular. And, you know, Rachel's always been a Ramones fan, and there's a lot of that feel on this album. There's some of the signature riffs, you know, sounding riffs style, Skid Row riffs here and there. Overall, it's just got this punk feel. Johnny just does not sing the same way as Sebastian, which just surprised me, because you think they want somebody that could at least, you know, kind of do the older stuff. I mean, he does it in his own way. They obviously played that stuff live. I've seen videos of it, but it doesn't sound anything like what people are used to hearing. It seems like a strange thing to do. You know, there's really high notes in those earlier songs. Even Sebastian struggled with live. Johnny just didn't do. He just didn't. Anything I've seen, he just didn't do it. So I found that odd. And when he's going for the higher notes on this album, he's just screaming. He's just. I mean, he's hitting the notes, but it's full force, you know, guttural sounding screaming. To me, that's what it sounds like. The song "You Lie On Here" starts out country, and then it turns into like a punk song, almost thrash by the end of it. And then there's like a remix of that at the end. Why, I don't know. For me, it was the worst song on the whole thing. But every now and then you get the classic feel of it, and there's some cool guitar playing on this. Is great. Drumming's great. Rachel sounds great. As far as musicianship goes, just the songs themselves are just very lackluster. I don't know. The melodies are very just basic. There's not a whole lot of emotiveness going on in the singing. Like the highlight for the album for me was the guitar playing. Scotty Hill in particular just has a very awesome way of making us like a song within a song. He really can make his solos speak. They tell a story of themselves, and that's on here. No slag on Snake at all. Snake's a great guitar player, but Sky just has that extra special thing about him that really makes the song extra special. I mean, he took like stuff that Sebastian did vocally, and he even elevated the songs to higher levels with his solos. So, and that's really the only saving grace for me, is some cool riffs here and there. Playing's great. Scotty's solos are killer. But unfortunately for me, the songs just kind of lackluster and don't really go anywhere. They don't really do much for me, and that hasn't changed. So fortunately, I probably will not be putting this one back on. It's going to become one of my dust collectors, and unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. But there's some people out there that like this. There's some people that like the Johnny era. They're going to enjoy the fact that it's remastered and it does sound better. It's crisper. So if you're one of those people that actually enjoys this era of the band, I think you're going to like the remaster, and you'll enjoy hearing it a little bit more clearly and just a better sounding version of it. So for you guys, this is going to be great. Go out and get it. For the people that were not impressed with the first one, this isn't going to change that at all, I don't think. So anyway, feel free to disagree with me. Some people do. That's what it's all about. It's all just opinions. You know, this isn't like rock solid fact or anything. It's just what we think of it, and that's just where it is for me. Feel free to leave any cool stories you might have. I love it when people leave little cool stories where they've met the band or they've had something happen in their life that this music did something for them. It's always cool to hear. So anyway, feel free to do that, and like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because the stuff they've been doing recently, love it. I love the stuff they did with Eric, and that album I thought was great, and can't wait to hear some more stuff like that. I don't know who they're going to have singing for them, but can't wait to hear it. And until then, we will see you.